So hello everyone, once again and welcome back to my channel. My name is Juliettsstyleglam. If this is your first time on my channel, you are awesomely welcome. Si c'est ta première fois sur ma chaîne, tu es la bienvenue. So hello everyone once again and welcome back to my channel. You guys, you are awesomely welcome. French, Flemish, Uzbekistan, name it, whatever region you come from, you're all welcome. I wish I could speak all the languages and I would have spoken all the languages to say thank you and welcome once again to my channel. Now today, as much as I'm smiling here, I ain't, because this video is in response, or it's my my response to the Aina video on marriage and Dyna Ekwueme. Now, truthfully, I'm trying so hard because I don't want to get upset, you know, or, you know, that kind of thing, because really, there are certain things that, I mean, this is the 21st century, there are certain things that when you hear today, you know, you really have to like take a step back, you know, and think, you know, and actually begin to question your choices, you know, and question what is actually the reason why you know, follow someone, or why you are, you know, why you assume, or why you think that, okay, this person is worth listening to, if I must use that language. So my video is, you know, I'm giving my own opinion on this, and I'm sorry, and I, you know, because I'm not sorry. No, I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm not apologizing to anyone, because, you know, I didn't do anything wrong. But I just want to highlight, you know, Aina, you guys, please wait. I'm coming so that I will talk well. You know, I don't know if you guys know, I love mangoes, so I have to eat. Give me some serviette. I forgot. Okay. Wait. I'm serious, so it's not because I'm eating mango. Wait. There's fire on the mountain. My table is shaking. I don't know why. So guys, I just want to get right down with it, because, you know, certain times you begin to ask yourself questions about, you know, some people's thought processes in the 21st century. And, you know, I was just listening to Aina, and I was listening to listened to Dyna Ekwueme, and truth be told, I was like, nah. You know, I was so tempted to comment. I was like, nah, no, this cannot be coming out of her mouth. I was like, no, it cannot be. And what was quite upsetting about it as well was there was this, I wouldn't say it's a bully factor, but there was this, you know, notion of her trying to make people understand that, you know, she wasn't giving room for argument. She was just trying to put her own, it has to be this way. It just tells me one thing anyway. It just tells me that, you know, she's just the kind of person that, you know, if she has to be with people, it's what she says that must go. No arguments. It has to be what she says that must go. So let's start from the beginning. She said marriage defines a woman, and marriage makes a woman. In 21st century. Now, of course, I agree with the fact that she was very clear from the beginning. She said, of course, that, you know, Aina spoke from experience, blah, 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 blah. Me, I'm speaking from experience. And while I'm saying that, I also was of the very notion, there's a video I've actually done on that, where I spoke about most times what we girls always feed each other. You have to choose your friends. Seriously, your circle of friends is very, very, you see your circle of friends, they are very important to certain things that you do. If the circle of friends that you have and their discussion morning till night, if their thought process at every point in time is man, pikin, husband, you are in the wrong circle. You are in the wrong circle, as in you have to have, you know what's called an overhaul. There's something wrong with you. There's something wrong with all of you, if that is all you guys can think about. So I just want to quickly go from the beginning. And she goes and says, she says something about marriage does define a woman and marriage makes and breaks a woman. Please do not go around preaching this to young girls. We have a lot of girls who are broken. We have a lot of women who are broken. We have a lot of women who are depressed. We have a lot of women who they have no direction. They don't know whether to go forward or backwards because of this thought process. And I'm so glad. I also said it in that same video. I'm going to put it here. I'm so glad that my parents, especially my father, I've said this before. My father, I'm from Imo State. My dad was very, very, very clear from the get-go and told his girls, if you do not have a first degree, if you do not have something doing in your life, if you come to me and tell me you are getting married, I am not going to answer you. That man is going to look for how he's going to marry you without your father's consent. That was my father. Okay? So, at the time I was at the university or in the university, my whole thought process was about being able to go to school, get myself, doing something to earn an income, and being able to, be, what will I use the word? Be beneficial to society. That was my thought process. Now, what Dyna Ekwueme is saying is very, very, very in tune with what you hear in Ali. This is not a lie. As at the time I was at school, most of the people who were around me, I said that in my video, and I'm going to put this video, you guys, you need to listen to that video. Most of the people around me were all about, school is over, I can't marry. Did I feel, some type of way? Yes, I did. Because the people who were surrounding me were not giving anything tangible by way of being, what do they want to do with their lives? I began to feel like I was the only one who was different. I was the only, and I felt that way. Why? Because nobody was singing the tune I was singing. Now, rather than, me, listen, because this is a form of psychological bullying, if you ask me. Now, rather than me, get away from that situation, I found people, they were able to tell me boldly and ask me, all this one you're always talking about, do and do your masters, won't you go and marry? Are you averse to marry? Even as at the time I left university, I still had friends who were telling me, won't you go and marry? Now, these people that were telling me, won't you go and marry? They are not my father, they were not my mother. Okay? That's to tell you how deep-seated society has put this consciousness of marriage on a girl. Marriage, please, Dyna Ekwueme, marriage does not make and break a woman. A woman is worth so much more. A woman is worth, please, if you do not understand whom you are or what you are as a woman, take your time. Because listen, you're pretty young, honey. And in your youth, you cannot tell me that just because marriage of less than what, 1 year. Then you begin to tell those who have, who are in, have been in this race about marriage breaking and making you. Listen, it's your opinion. Say it's your opinion and give the reasons why. Do not come out and begin to open your mouth and say things like, and begin to throw it out. Listen, my dear, that is no argument. When I argue with someone, I want you to give me reasons, facts. Your facts could be personal, but don't throw it out that way. Honey, let those who have been there, okay, who married young and tell you what they went through because they got married young, let them be the ones to talk. I knew a girl when I was in a suit. Listen, and most times when I do my videos, I want you guys to always notice, I always have, stories that I used to back it up. I don't make them up. I don't fabricate them. They actually happened. I used to know a girl who was married at the time, pretty young. I met this girl. She was dating another guy, okay, outside of, her marriage. Now, this girl got married young, had kids for the man, okay? More or less a situationship where she was kind of coerced. I won't use the word forced, but she was coerced into marrying this man. And the man said, "Oh, I love you." She got kids for him, but honey, she ran. She ran away. Now, I got to know this girl and I found out she was such a wonderful person. Strong-willed, highly opinionated. She was a hustler. As at the time I was there in school, this girl was knocking, she was running jobs, as in, she was everywhere. Today she will be at one person's office selling pen. Tomorrow she was married. She told me her story and I was like, okay, I asked her, I said, "So what do you want to do?" She said she's never getting married again. For her, that part of her life never happened. She was interested in doing her own thing. Why? Because she was not given the opportunity to discover herself, choose who she wanted to be, before she was thrown into a situationship she was not prepared for. She doesn't even think about her kids. So you find out that, things happen to us in life and our brain adapts for us in a way, because for her, it's a forgotten part of her life. She doesn't remember her kids. She doesn't remember the husband. For her, it's over. She was dating somebody else entirely. Okay? So don't get it twisted, honey. Now, you went on and you said, let me just go back again. As at the time I was actually in school, at the university, very quick fact, I recall I had suitors, not one, not two, not three, and none of these people was I having anything to do with, but they were there. And I personally, I had told myself that I could not be married while at school, neither could I be married at 25. My target, I put myself that the age I wanted to get married was at 29. My dear brothers and sisters, I actually did get married at 29 years. I did not. It was like as though God was in concord with my prophecy, with my guys. I found, like I said, in the video, that my memory card just started messing up. So I found out that I had like maybe 5 minutes of footage gone, so I have to re-record. Okay, so just very quickly, let me continue from her story when she talks about, a woman needing to get married as quickly as possible. And I also want to use this the Bible to buttress this point. Marriage is not compulsory. I want to give us an example. Mary Magdalene. Mary Magdalene, if you all recall, was a prostitute who reconverted to become a Christian, a follower of Jesus. There is nowhere in the Bible it was ever recorded that Mary Magdalene was married. She became a staunch follower of Jesus Christ. Mary Magdalene was not recorded as having any children. She was not recorded to have been known romantically with any man, apart from the fact that the Bible said she was a prostitute. So honey, where are you getting your ideology from? You know, most times society puts standards on women, and this is what angers me a lot. Society, a bunch of people put standards on you as a woman, and then you now begin to run with it. The Bible recorded instances of even mothers who had kids and there was no husband. The same Bible even recorded an instance of a woman who was a serial divorcee. And my question is, please, Dyna Ekwueme, where did you get your logic from? I want to understand it, because it doesn't make sense to me. And like I said in my, continuing whilst in this video, you really were very disrespectful. I'm sorry, like I said, you really hit a nerve. You really hit a nerve. You went somewhere with fertility, and I'm sorry for you. You were downright rude and disrespectful. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Now, I was saying, so when I first came to France, and I recall I had to, start from, the ground up. And I recall in one of those instances, I said, I just said it, I need to do my master's. That was why I said I need to do my master's. Now, I made that statement. My husband is one kind of person. My husband is the kind of person that goes, he doesn't say anything, he just nods. And he was like, well, until then. Now, I tried, unknown to me, I tried my hands, I tried to get admission into the same school. I'd actually totally forgotten I even started it, And then I went about it again, like a flash came into my eye, like, remember you said you wanted to do your master's. I didn't even tell my husband, this master's, I didn't tell him anything. I just started my registration, and then, everything began to happen. And then, when I got my admission letter, my husband looked at me and said, because I didn't believe in myself. I was like, yes, I had series of interviews. I wasn't even sure I was going to be accepted. And I was like, yes, and I was like, CEO, I was just like, CEO, now wow, this thing has become a reality. My husband was like, have you forgotten that I said, and you told me you wanted to do your master's, and I said you were going to do your master's. I was like, I'd totally forgotten. But he remembered. I'd totally forgotten. What am I saying? If you are not married, or you cannot, or you are not in tune with somebody who is supportive of you as a woman in your career, in your life, in everything, please, let me speak like my Anambra brothers. Please run away from there, because you will be frustrated out of that marriage. Totally frustrated. So, moving on. Like I said, her views, in my opinion, were not just opinionated, she gave them as rules. And I'm sorry, it's not okay. If you listen to Jackie Aina talked about the fact that she got married early, young, and the pressure of society, and to get married and stuff and a lot of things. And I agree with her, because she made a statement. When she made that statement, I just absent-mindedly, at this time I had not watched Diana's video. Absent-mindedly, she said, choose your purpose. And then she said, and I said, like I said, I just wrote this absent-mindedly. She said, parents want their kids to do things their way. And this brings me down to the parents who pressure their kids to get into this web of marriage. I also have a friend, from A to Z, every day, her mom was always on her back. Go and marry, go and marry, go and marry, go and marry. This one is married, this one is married, this one. Please, parents, do you understand the kind of damage you are doing to your children? You are causing to your kids, to your children. Do you understand the kind of psychological and mental damage you are putting them through? Do they pick men from the street? Do you pick men from husband from dustbin? Abi, do they pick them from the streets? Where do you want them to pick them from? When a woman is bidding her time and the time is not right, let her be. Why don't we get to see the same pressure on men? A man has kids outside wedlock. He's a man, let him go, let him be. A woman does it, is like everything, it's like the whole world just came to an end. Why? I mean, she didn't kill the child. She decided to bear that child. She bore the child. She went through the suffering. She went through the pain. Have people ever thought about the fact that she went through some, emotional trauma as well? Have you all thought of the fact that she also went through her own psychological shame? It's just like listening to people who say that rape victims, it's in the past, let it go, move on, this, that. Have you thought about the things that she must have passed through before? Because in Igbo, afime ade ezo. Pregnancy does not hide. So have you thought of the fact that, okay, this is what she carried and there is no shame. She got pregnant. What? Why? She did because she was doing what every other person does to get pregnant. Sue me. And so what? And then the person who gets her pregnant now decides to bail on her. She now decides to take the bull by the horns, and then decides to make something out of herself and her child. It's not the end of the world. There are a lot of women I know, even in Nigeria at the time, very lovely lady, great woman, working hard, she was bringing in coins at the time when I knew her. I recall one thing she told me, because she was so industrious, it wasn't as though she didn't have she wasn't interested in having a man, but she had other things in front of her. And she told me one day, and she said that, truthfully, I wish I just had kids. Because guess what? Eventually her mom was like, that if he's only pregnant, you will get kukuma, you have children. At the end of the day, it is that same lifestyle that you people say, oh, it's a man, let him be. That's what he's supposed to be. What do you expect? That same thing that a man does and gets away with it. Now, your parents now come and tell you, don't worry. Oh yeah, now, if it's only belekari, oh yeah, now, so you born picking. What the hell? No, please, I'm sorry, but I was actually disappointed for someone who studied in the UK. My dear, because, and this is what I keep on telling people, the fact that, a lot of people keep on saying an illiterate is someone. I'm sorry, I'm not calling her an illiterate, but I'm just trying to tell, trying to enlighten us here that sometimes the things we say from our mouth demeans us and diminishes everything we've ever, or people think about us. And we have to be careful about, the kind of narratives we put out there. Before speaking, sometimes just take a step back and think. Don't run your mouth and think later. No. So like I was saying, there are certain things that will happen, or certain things that come out of your mouth. There are questions that will begin to rise, as in, are you sure this person said, now let's forget the fact that maybe she went to school in the UK. Even in Nigeria, after all, we have lovely looking women, we have great women, beautiful women who are doing things. So I'm not going to even blame, because when I was great, I wasn't in the UK when I knew that I had to make myself or bring out something for myself before before getting into a man's house. Okay, so I'm not going to even go there, but there are certain things that when comes out of your mouth, it demeans and diminishes everything that you are supposed to represent. I'm sorry, it's the truth. Now moving on. I was actually upset, let me not lie, when she said that we have to understand that being a woman already is a bitter spirit, and that we are this. Like I said, I'm not going to quote crap. I'm going to bring out excerpts of that video and put it in this video so that you will be hearing from the horse's mouth. And she said being a woman, that is the bitter pill we have to swallow.
Jackie also mentioned in her video that the pressure is always on women. Why is the pressure always on women to get married and settle down before a certain age? Why not the men? Because that's a bitter pill to handle, especially for women who are just devoted to their careers, who just don't want to settle down until they attain a certain level of success in their careers.
What? At this junction, I was already angry. What? Oh, so what? I'm a bitter pill to swallow because I'm a woman. It's a bitter pill to swallow. To who? To you? Or who? I don't get it. We are in a world right now where we are fighting for women's rights. We are fighting for the girl child. Listen, Dinah, I want to ask you a question. It's a bitter pill to swallow. So, since being a woman is a bitter pill to swallow, then the children who are being married off in the northern part of Nigeria, I wrote something about this on my LinkedIn, and it was also part of my my master's proposal, which I will look for and put in this video so I can access it. And so we are now going to be talking about those kids, those girls, the girl child who is being married off at a young age and then left abandoned. Why am I even going far? Stephanie Okereke did a video on that. She did a movie on that, and then left to suffer because she got married young, got pregnant, and began to suffer from VVF. Now it's her own. It's a bitter pill to swallow for being a woman. Really, at this point, really, I was very, very upset. Make no lie, bitter pill to swallow. Really, you've got a platform. What stops you from using your platform to speak against the fact that because we are women does not mean that a girl child should be married off before she is the age of 18? But because we live in a world where, or in Nigeria, where it's the Senate, rather than doing their work, they are interested in children who have not matured to be married off. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Moving on. Like I said, whose priority is this marriage thing you're talking about, Diana? Is it yours or it's every woman? Because you cannot just, when you're throwing out all those English, I had to ask myself, whose priority? Is it every woman's priority to get married? Is every woman's priority? I don't get, seriously, because, and I really, really wish and hope that you have a response to this video. I really, really would want a response to this video, to some of these things I highlighted, because I'm sorry, your opinions were very insensitive, highly insensitive, if I must add. Now, moving on. I also said that Aina Dyna is in a better position to speak, and why I'm saying this is because, listen, experience, they say, is the best teacher. Experience being the best teacher, of course, most times we all sit down and we say that, or rather I personally, I'm the kind of person I'll say, let me not have that, let me learn from somebody else. Like I said, thank God my support system at home was not of that, type. So there was never this pressure to get married. My dear, as you're looking at me, my mind wasn't on marriage. My husband, anyway, that one is story for another day. It's just to tell you that most times certain things happen for people, unexpectedly. And when experience comes at you in this way, pick it, learn from it. Do not just throw it away. Do not just, flippantly, put it aside because, and then you think and you believe that because this is your own and it must be like, no, it doesn't work that way. No, it doesn't. Aina spoke from experience. And the day she made that video, Aina did not know that her fiance or her boyfriend was going to propose to her. She totally made that video before leaving for Greece on holiday, on vacation. That was the last thing she knew. She totally made that video very, very unaware of what was going on the side at the background. Listen, I want to tell you one story. I want to give you one shocker. if you girls out there don't know, let me tell you something. No man wants a liability for a wife. Nobody, no man wants a liability for a wife. Financially, nah. No man wants that. No man wants an itiako or itim pataka for a wife. Let me tell you, if a man knows that the woman that he's doing something which is an olodo, small, you will see that man will begin to withdraw. No man is going to sit down and be looking at a woman that is not going to bring anything to the table. You must be able to bring something to the table somehow, somewhere, in one way or the other. You cannot just be redundant. Because the success of that man, as you know, the marriage progresses, is very, 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 very important, and it stems from the woman's side of things. There's nobody, there's no family that wants to not be able to go to the store and buy stuff for your children. Where does that work? You want to be able to do that, but you must be able to bring something to the table. The man is not a jacket or not jacket. There is no way that he was created to be jacket. The Bible describes you, the woman, as a helper. He didn't describe you as a freeloader. So that means you must have your own self, your identity, know whom you are before you are walking inside, because that is what any man and every man respects. No man, if let me tell you, if you guys don't know, most men, if they notice that the woman that they are with, that here she's not thinking, she's not proactive, they will use you to sweep the floor. Let me tell you, why is that most people, you always keep on, you hear them saying, that's this one, that's what is it, this girl, she's this, she's that, but you will see that that man, he wants to die there. Yes, there is something she's bringing to the table that you did not. He found that thing that she's bringing to the table he wants, and he is staying there put. Michelle Obama was Michelle Obama. She was her own person. She was already a lawyer before Obama and Michelle became together. So please, honey, don't sell this. Don't sell this. Don't sell this, because it's a very dangerous narrative you're going on with. It's very dangerous. Listen, like I said, up to now as I'm speaking, I am shocked. I am totally shocked. It's unbelievable for me in today's 2019, 21st century. Far. No. Oh, it's not possible. Now, another thing that I felt was quite insensitive, I must add, and extremely callous of you, Dyna, was to talk about fertility and infertility by the time a woman is... I'm sorry, you hit home with this one. I just put out a video on that, and I'm going to put it up in this video. If you have not watched it, go watch it. That was totally uncalled for. My sister's godmother. So when people talk, I'm sorry, there are sometimes when somebody talks, you just shut them down. My sister's godmother, one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen, got married to her husband. She was at the University of Nsukka. They both went to school together. And she got married to her husband. At what age? 25, 23? Because you said you are a pro early marriage. Just sit down, take several seats, honey. Take several seats. Because that statement was very, very, very insensitive. Very uncalled for. She got married to her husband. My sister's godparents. Most beautiful couple I know till date. And guess what? She has no child, no baby. Guess what? Another shocker for you. She married her husband a virgin. Yes. But no child. They doted on my sister like mad. My sister's birthday was never went unannounced. My sister's first communion, they carried it on their head. My sister's confirmation, they took front row. Everything, they were there. I remember as a child, I always talked, I said, when would my auntie? Oh, I always prayed. It didn't happen. And they adopted. And they have kids. And they are living happily. So I'm sorry, that segment was highly insensitive. We have women who suffer infertility issues they don't know about. Some of them were through, you know, an environment. Some of them have been through what they went through. How dare you? I'm sorry, how dare you? How dare you? How dare you put a timeline on a woman and a woman's fertility? How dare you? I know of women, there are women who at the age of 50 are still having babies. I know 60 they are still having babies. In whatever form they have it, is none of your goddamn business. They got their babies and that's it. If it's IVF or whatever, that's what they... I mean, seriously? You spend a lot of money and be doing IVF up and down? What? Please, like I said in the beginning of this video, if you have not watched that video, if you've not watched Jackie Aina's video, and I'm going to say this and I'm going to say it very clearly, please, young girls out there, go listen to Jackie Aina. I'm sorry, please, don't listen to this nonsense because it's total bullshit. It's total nonsense. I will not tell you or explain to you the effects this video, the ripple effect is going to have. I can't even tell you because it's going to be there. And in her demographic, I'm sure she's got pretty young girls who follow her. Probably the same age. And then you come out and say this to them. Already you have begun to carry out a complex in these girls. Impressionable young women. Listen, if you think you got it all together, I mean, put it in your own way that you got it all together. But don't spread it. If marriage is your priority, say that marriage is your priority. Don't generalize. Speak for yourself. Don't speak for everybody. If you had come out in this video and said, I married early and here's why, I will listen to you because it's you. Your video did not bring out sorry. No, listen, young girls out there, marriage is not the be all and the end all, number one. Number two, marriage does not make or break you. You are much more than marriage. You have a purpose. Find your purpose, live it, explore it, know whom you are. Dear honeys out there, do not think marriage is no achievement. It's not an achievement in any way. Please, marriage is not an achievement. I beg you. Should never be. Those who are married 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, ask them, have you married for that number of years? Ask them whether they were all smiling all throughout those 10 years or 15 or 20 years. Ask, so that you don't think or you assume that it's goals, couples goals, like I see all the time. That, you know, you see couples goals everywhere. You think that it is bread and butter. Ask. Then you will hear the story behind the story. You will hear the story behind the glitz and the glamour. You will hear the story behind what happened before they got to where they are. Many of them choose to stay. It is not that you were forced. No. They chose to remain. Because if they did not choose, abasala. Anyway, feel free to like, comment, share this video because my battery is running low. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe to this channel, share this video. So on this note, you guys, leave your comments in the comment section below. Well, I'd love to hear what you guys, your take on this. I'd love to hear it and I'd love to your 2 cents on it. And as always, you know, feel free. I've got my, I don't know. Okay, I'm going to put my email address so that you can also send me messages via email if you want. And yeah, and that will be all for this video. Yeah, stay blessed and remember, you are queens. before anything else. You are blessed, you are queens, you are great. All right, so take care of yourselves and